Okay, we're gonna do an unboxing video. I've been sitting here waiting on this for about a month and a half, and I thought I'd get started. Probably won't finish it with the whole setup in this part of the clip, but I'll put it all together. And I got my granddaughter helper Raylan here, so we'll start off with opening the plastic scraps. And up here on top.
So I'm gonna stand back with
where I
this.
have the mobile part of the
I'm gonna stand back.
mobile base for it.
I'm gonna stand back on the cutting.
Okay,
So I don't get cut.
there we go.
That almost fell on me. You got it.
There we go.
Okay,
All right.
Sonia.
They shipped this and it was actually fairly quick. It was on sale, that's why I bit the bullet and went and got it. And then I couldn't wait for it, so I went and picked it up from the Roadrunner warehouse with my trailer. And then it sat here. It's been here for about a month and a half.
I'm gonna peel off this.
No, we don't need to peel that off, honey.
I'm gonna peel it off.
Yeah, let's get working. Okay.
Now I'm doing an unboxing.
Not sure how this is.
Hey.
How this goes here.
No.
And I may have to lift the box off from the top.
How can you lift it from the top?
Well, no, there's not enough room to lift it from the top, and it does lift from the top. So we're going to have to disassemble, well, take the lid off of it. That helps.
Well, I have, but how can...
Well, I'll have to pull the cardboard. No. All right. Oh, this is exciting. This is cool. Up. And there goes the one side.
Okay, now it's the double unboxing.
There we go.
Now it's to the...
Oh, this is cool. I'm excited. Let's get this off the top here.
I already started without you, Dad.
No. That's a hunk of styrofoam. There's nothing in it. Nope. Alright.
I saw it for ya.
Got some shrink wrap on it.
I got a piece for ya. Yeet.
Now don't take this off because that's protecting the cast iron top on it. And I don't want to have to go through the cleaning and the waxing yet. I'll do that in the next part of the video. So 3 horsepower, 220, and it has a 14-inch resaw cut. So I'm going to do a little lumber milling.
So I'll only be here for... It might be half of the video, it might be later of the video.
Alright. And, well, I do know that there's a hydraulic shock on the table tilt. Don't want to go pushing things until I've read through the manuals. Here's my rip fence assembly down here on the bottom. Does it connect? Yep, it's connected with a zip tie. There we go. Put this up here for now. Oh, I got a camera girl. And recycles. Okay, and where is...
So, what I found, I'll just...
You gotta... Here. Okay, all right. She gets a little distracted there, so we'll bring you back over here. Trying to figure out how this table tilts. Let me bring you over here and I'll show you some things here. Okay. I got it. There is a hydraulic shock for the table tilt.
This is
What we
the
got
on
here?
button.
That's some grease.
No grease in there.
There's grease in there. Believe that's gonna loosen up. Yep. There we go. I'm gonna turn these little guys right here. And then, oh, it's it looks like it's like kind of a rack and pinion
Can I take that?
or whatever, gear driven.
And here's the plug-in.
And there's the plug-in. Looks like it's got a standard 110 plug-in, so I'll have to look at that in a little bit.
Let's figure out how to get it off.
It'll be a little slow to change. Most of the time it's going to be on 0 anyway. And I don't have my glasses, so I can't read the lines right now.
And we'll show you at the end of the video how we'll
And
cut
then it
this
looks like
styrofoam.
over here is a tilt to tighten it up. Now let's see if that wants to... Nope, that's the tilt to tighten it up. All right. All right, and, well, to be continued at the next time. Here is a quick release on this. It's the Ambassador C14 from Harvey Tools. And it looks like we got a window up here to watch the blade for guiding it. And I don't want to start doing too many things until I've learned about this. And we got a foot brake down there.
Oh, wait.
And
At the end
oh,
of the
okay,
video,
it's got a 220. It's got the straight.
Before we
It's got the
leave,
one sideways in the ground. What do I got over here?
before
I've got the one sideways in the ground, so I'm already
we
pre-wired
leave, we're gonna cut out
when I
this.
laid out the garage here. Let's go ahead and... Oh, okay. And there will be my upper wheel. It's a nice cast in it. Definitely well Vaselined or lubed up there. And then this down here for the lower door, you turn it till it finds this little spot right there. And that'll open. Oh, and there's my owner's manual, which I'll need to read. And lots of other little parts, which I'm going to need to read so I can continue this video. So we'll stop there. It's got a seal around here, which should help with dust control a little bit.
Take the grease. Greasy.
Okay.
And also, this is greasy.
We got to turn this down.
I'll pop the bubble wrap.
Okay. It has a nice big port here
This is a boring video.
for dust removal.
At the
It's a
end
boring
of the
video, huh?
we'll
Okay.
Continue more.
Oh, and it looks like there's another dust port down there. And I'll read the video, and I'll try to get back to this evening and continue on after I've had a chance to study it. Okay, messed around with it a little bit while not filming. Here on the fence, you got a couple bolts here that so it can glide into there, and then you would switch it over to this spot if you wanted to have a low fence. I hope you can see that. And to get this on here right now, you gotta have the table tilted. So you can slide it down like that. And then there's a nylon or plastic, so you don't, so it's not riding along scratching on the table. Cast iron top, and it rides underneath that over there. And then you can tighten this down, and then you can bring the table back up. I did notice that to get, let me bring you in here. Let me turn this overhead light on too. Maybe that'll shed a little light extra in here. To get to this bearing, you have to have it tilted up to bring that back away before I adjust them. And also, on the previous video, I had said that this one knob up front here was for tightening. Well, there's both sides tighten up on there. And then this turns like that. You can see how it changes the angle. And then I'll have the two knobs to tighten for the tabletop. And it's got a stop there, which will be adjusted right here. Let me back off. I don't have my glasses on, so, but we can then tighten the top up in place. And on both sides. I may be able to reach in there to get the other side of this. I have to play around and see. My hands are... But then this knob right here would tighten up so that it has its stop right here to make the tabletop at 90 degrees to the blade, which I haven't got to sudden that adjustment yet. We'll see. If I open this up right here for the top door, get that spinning. It's nice and quiet, but I have neither the top or the bottom bearings touching at all yet. And then this knob up here on the front, loosen the tension on it there, and then see, you can bring it up and down, raise it, tighten it up again. And we got our tension release up on this, and another adjustment up in here for the top wheel. Let me open that up. See, this will turn. Gives you a knob. I'm gonna leave it right where it's set for right now, because when I put the tension on it, it's right in the range right there on that. Down on the bottom here, this is where, well, I'm not sure yet. We got a brush right here to brush the sawdust off of it. And here's the brake. You can see how the brake. Good, how you doing? Now, one of the things we're supposed to do is, for shipping, they have it set this way. And I'll take these two bolts off and turn it around, and then the knobs will be where I can push them from the front side of the blade. So let's see if I can set you up. Actually, I'll just go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the switch turned around, so it's over here where you're working from. Starter and the stop. And before I may end up having to take that off, I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and open up the mobile base box and see if I'm going to have to change something, because if I lay that thing back, and this right here is going to be the runner for my sled I'm going to make for doing some resawing. Well, not resawing, but milling. So when I lean that back over to its side, put the mobile base on, I don't want to be stuck with hitting that power switch possibly. So I'm going to examine this first and do its tilting to make sure I'm not making myself a problem and end up busting the box up. This thing's right in my way. Okay, here's all these parts. Up this box. Look, if there is. The instruction manual, and I believe I need a piece of plywood for it. I got some 3/4 inch Baltic birch. I think it's 3/4. I hope so. And wants me to have 1/2 inch to 1 1/2. So let me It's not telling me the exact size. So since it's going to sit in here, get pinched between that, I'm going to need the piece of the size to be the exact size of the base, which the base is 15 and 5/8. 15 and 11/16. By 24 and 1/4. So I'm gonna get those cut down and build this base. And I might come back in during the base building, or at least on one of the 4 corners. Okay, I measured it for 16 wide, or 15 and 13/16. And I'm going to rip the length here, and then I'll cut the distance on it, because I want to try to save this possibly for my sled. I'm hoping I'd save a larger piece if I cut it off at the end, but I could have a 16-inch wide sled for the milling. Left, whereas I wouldn't have as long of a milling section if I cut it off the end. So I'm going to go this way and hope I'm not wasting lumber with a small piece. I'm going to get my other stuff out of the way. Get back here. And now this one can go slide in later on, hopefully, if it's wide enough. Okay, so that's got my, yeah, I might make it a little big. 16. That'll work, 16. And that needs to be a little over 24. A little over 24, which probably should. Probably should put it on my crosscut sled. Okay. Should be on a crosscut sled. Yeah, that's sticky. At home, do it on a crosscut sled. Okay, these do not push up. This one has the foot lever. Okay. This out of the way. Came with some beveled holes and some nuts. Take one of them apart. I don't want to think of that. Let's see what they're saying. Okay, all right. Well, I need to do some hole drilling. So let me put this back together so I don't lose my parts. Where's my pencil? I need to mark out some holes and go get the drill out. Let's see. This one here. Use 3 hands. just 2 that fully worked. There. This design's gonna change. All right. Now see, these got a bevel. Okay, bevel's in that. All right. Okay, I'll make some holes and I'll be back. Okay, got the holes drilled. And let's hope this all works right. Let's get this in here. Yeah, I got some tear out. That'll work though. See if we can get these through, or whether I got to warble the holes out. I wonder what that is. What's this? Oh, that's for leveling the feet once you got it. Okay, get that off a little. Oh, there we go. Oh, still off a little. See just how far off I am. I'm gonna have to. No, I guess not. Well, it's gonna be tight to get the lock washers on there, though. Might have to tighten it down, then let it out, and then that's what I'll do. See, just not quite enough room. If they gave me a little bit longer bolts, that would have been great. But then they would have drugged the ground if not. So I'm going to tighten them up. Yeah, see, these aren't fully seated on this side. Is what's making them. It's possible a 1/2 inch would have been a better size to pick versus a 3/4, although this will be stronger. 1 1/2, you'd have to go get different bolts, or even 1 inch. So I don't think these are going to actually be long enough. They give me no longer ones. Okay. Well, let me get my back. It looks like it's dealing with 13 millimeter. These safety glasses may be reading glasses too, but they sure get sweaty on a hot day. There we go. Okay, and repeat 3 more times. Okay, I repeated 3 more times after I turned the camera off. Now, let's bring you over here. And here is this hand. And do this, it rolls, and then it gets stuck. So, now I better have made it the right size, otherwise I'm going to quit for the day. It's going to spin on me. There. I might have a use for these sometime. These could come in handy for something. Something that needs a large foot. Throw a second nut and on there to, or even a oh, what do they call those things where you drive them into the wood and it's a nut that's driven in with the teeth on it? But either way, that might come in handy. It's just like never throwing away a piece of wood, never throw away a piece of hardware. Especially hardware, well, it used to be hardware was expensive. Nowadays, well, everything's expensive. Sound like an old person saying everything's expensive these days. Now I understand the old people when I was younger. Okay, now this is gonna be fun. I think I'm gonna need my 19-year-old to help me get it off of here and put it onto the mobile base. So I'll be back. Okay, well, I guess I don't have any help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock that off the side, right there. And let's see. Okay. Get this up under here. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, great. Okay, well, I'm going through with it now. Man crushed by bandsaw. What do you know? All right. Okay. Two up. It's seated well. Okay. Push those back down. It's flat, and then I can level it accordingly. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop it for now and do a little reading before I go on. Okay, well, going by the directions, it has us put the top on, which was already on mine. It was already installed. And then they have us doing the rip vents, which I did, and then the tool holder, which this tool holder goes up here on the back, right here, where there's two springs. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me undo this too. There we go, get that out of the way. Alright, let's get this tool holder on. And that is going to go, not exactly sure. Let's see how they got it going. Yeah, they got the little grooves and hooks on the bottom side, which would make sense. So you can hang something if you want to hang it. And a couple washers and spring washers and the bolts. They're going to use a small Allen wrench, which they included all these Allen wrenches. Not that small. Okay. Okay, and then you can hang all these little guys in it, because these are all the Allen wrenches that are used on the thing. And then I guess you've always got them with you for working on the thing, and then there's a couple hooks to hang stuff there too. All right, now we're getting to the good part. Remove the table insert. Remove it from the work table. We're removing the table insert. So I'm gonna bring you over here. A little better view of table insert. So for the table insert, we're going to undo this. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Take that out. And then we're going to... I guess that's being held down with an Allen wrench, maybe? I might be doing this all wrong here. Let's see. I wonder why that has... I'm a little confused here. Let's see. Okay. You turn that to the side a little bit. And then that comes off of there. Then, well, I guess I didn't need to take this off. This would only be if I'm changing the blade. Okay. Probably. Can I line that up, or does that stay depressed? That just stays depressed slightly. Okay. All right, so it's got us taken off the insert. rag. Everything's a little oily. And then once it's release the tension lever and open the upper and lower doors. Release the tension lever. Open the doors. Open the doors. Okay. I don't know why that has an adjustment. I'll be finding that out, I guess. Okay. Slide the blade. They didn't have the blade on here, so I didn't probably even need to do the insert. That's all done. It's already got the motor attention on it. It's got the blade on it. Changing the blades, blade tracking. Okay. Well, we're gonna need to track it here, so let's do that. What we're looking for is for the gullet to be at the center, the deepest part of the gullet to be at the center of that blade. And they give me a nice little window here to look in. Some more light. Okay, so my blade tensioners are not touching anything. I'm gonna bring this down. Got a few inches, I believe it says. Make sure blade guards and other parts do not interfere with the blade. Lower until you can see the blade through the tracking window. Oh, I can see the blade through the tracking window. And I don't want these hitting it. Okay. Okay, we want to have it tensioned. Let's make sure nothing's... What's that noise? Is there anything there touching? No, nothing's touching. It's this wheel. There we go, let's see. Yep, okay. Alright. So we got that. Nothing's going to be touching to bind it. Then the right range right there. Well, this is the first plug-in that I cannot reach. So I'm going to move it a little bit. This is a pretty heavy stand too. Move this and then I'm going to bring it back and come back and make sure the camera can see us. I think that is there. First time that plug's been used too. All right. The brake's been used. Okay, well, me unplug this guy. And on the blade, looks like the gullet is center of the thing. See, unplugged, yep, okay. Could actually go in a little farther. And I might be a little too far. That looks pretty good right there. So then there's this outside knob that you tighten down. And I'll bring it over here and show it. This is what I turned right here until the center of the blade. Let's see if you can see it here. Get it spinning. Oh, there's the camera right there. Okay, see the center of the gullet is the center of that tire right there. Okay, and then that means that's not, and then you tighten down the outside one, which kind of locks it in place. Okay, what we're gonna do here now is we're going to adjust the bearing. It should only be touching the bearing when it's under pressure. So I want it as close to that guy as I can get without actually contacting. I'll open this up to top up to spin it and make sure it doesn't spin. That's really close. Take just the tiniest bit, just littlest bit. Oop. I tighten it down right there. Now see if it. I think that's a little too far off. I'm going to set the phone back down and try to get to that as close as I can. That would help if I locked that in, because that was making it move. Probably be a little too. A little more off of it. There we go. And now we do the same on these on the side. They're kind of like oval, elliptical shaped. So we want to bring it in as close as we can. Oh, let them fall in and touch it first. Interesting. And I gotta run up there. Okay. just at the back of the gullet, just a little behind it. And then I'm going to bring them out just a little bit. A little feeler gauge probably wouldn't be a bad idea here. Instead, I'm going to, there. And there. That was a little easier. Let's try that now and see what it, see how that's acting. I'm being a little too close. Now let's give her a shot and see what happens. Now let's try it. Now let's see. On the bottom one. Okay, something I want to bring up is for doing the lower bearings, it appears it's easier to put one hand underneath and one hand right here for the rear I believe thrust bearing it might be called, in order that you can adjust that. The side ones you just kind of work because there's just one front knob, and then you turn them both elliptical and then tighten it up. Let me start that up, but removing that center plate helped with getting to the lower thrust bearing. Posterior or the lower? Too close. Give me a year's worth of plugging in and out on that thing. Let that keep going. I believe I've read where on blades there's something you might do for the back side. I don't know if that's with a file or something, because I think there might be a burr on the back side of that blade. I may be wrong, but it seems like I've heard something about that before. And then it goes into some other instructions. Work table will need to basically, let me put this back in here. This goes back in, it slides in, and then that turns sideways, and that's on a spring, which helps hold this down in here. Turn sideways to begin. And underneath there, do a little turn, and then it kind of clamps to the bottom side. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I need to check about that on the burr on the back side of this thing. Make sure it wasn't. It seems to me there might be. And then certified square. And what we'll do is loosen this, bring it up. What's going on? Oh, it's trying to hit the tire. That's interesting. Give the shroud a little bit in there. And yep, 14. goes. Nope, it sits right there. All right. That is spot on. Keeping it to the table, not letting the insert. Shine a little light behind it, sometimes that can help you a little bit. Maybe a little bit more back. Another light from top to bottom. It is a little light, but it's even all the way from the top to the bottom. And that side has none top to bottom. Why does this side have some even? Here's my angle, because I can see a little bit, and it's exactly the same, even at the very bottom. Let me have this on a little angle. Okay, that took care of it. All right, I just had this on a little angle. All right, so we've got the blade and table squared. Don't know about the trueness of this. Tabletop in comparison with the miter slots in comparison to the that's good. That's good. What does this old man's eyes see anyway? Now, how would I? No. I think. No. That's pretty darn true there. That's true there. Let's see now, is it at 0 right now? You look straight down, it's at 0 on the gauge here. Now how I would change that, I believe, would be with some adjustments in here. Or maybe this even, yes, this actually looks like it might have some adjustments to it on the sidebar. I could wiggle this a little forward or back. But mine's right on, so that's one less thing to worry about. Okay, what is my next? Oh, I guess I gotta cut something for you all. Boy, I hate to just cut something. Something I was gonna do a veneer or something, that'd be great. We're gonna wait for the cutting until I'm gonna make a milling sled for it using this guy right here, and then the part of the base I didn't use. We'll mount it on there, and then I need to have some kind of a sliding, almost like bookend type of brace for the wood, And then as far as the ends, I'm not wanting to drive nails in because I may not be getting that big of wood. So what I think I'm going to do is going to find something to get me started that kind of has like a clamp but teeth that dig in. Even if I take some kind of a weird bracket and some long sliders to it on each side. And I think that's what I'm going to go for. I'll have a video on building that though. So that's it on the saw, or on the bandsaw. Remember to subscribe and like, please.